Imagine 36 tiny spots of land, some with people living in it, some with only birds, turtles and trees, yet others a sparkling white sandbar, all in the midst of the Arabian Sea, also called the Lakshadweep Sea. Situated 220 to 440 kilometers off the southwest coast of Kerala, the Union Territory of Lakshadweep is composed of 10 inhabited islands with a population of 65,000 and a land area of 32 square kilometers. The islands are situated atop a huge volcanic mountain chain under the sea known as the Maldives-Chagos Range. The simplest theory about the formation of islands like Lakshadweep, called atolls, is this. Over millions of years, tiny creatures called coral polyps have been depositing calcium carbonate in the sea. This resulted in a ring-like island with a portion of sea water enclosed in it called the lagoon. Lakshadweep is the only coral atoll in this part of the Indian Ocean. The reef, formed by the work of the coral polyps, covers an area of over 816 square kilometers, and the lagoon area is 4,200 square kilometers. The coral reef is also called the rainforest of the ocean. Starting from more than 80 species of algae and extensive sea grass beds producing oxygen to over 78 species of corals that form the soil and protect the islands, the coral reef ecosystem is teeming with biodiversity. The coral reefs of the world are one of the most productive of ecosystems. The reefs need abundant sunlight and salinity of 35 ppm to grow well. The coral polyps are homemakers for microscopic creatures like zooxanthellae. They not only give brilliant colors to the polyps but also produce oxygen and food. A good example of symbiosis. This friendship makes the reef one of the most productive of ecosystems. One square kilometer of reef is known to produce 10.3 grams of calcium carbonate each day. A peek into the rich biodiversity of the reef reveals the variety of fishes found. The coral reef and lagoon fishes abound in the clear and pure waters. The national animal of the islands, the butterfly fish, amazes your eye with its brilliant colors and patterns, not to speak of the abundance in variety. The 16 species of butterfly fish share the lagoon with over 110 species of reef fishes. There are some fish that have to be avoided, like this lionfish with its pectoral fins looking like a lion's mane. Many of the pelvic spines on them have poisons that can be very painful to humans. But the poison contained in the very sharp spines of the stonefish can be fatal. This fish is so well camouflaged that it looks like a piece of weed-covered stone. The marine world is a taxonomist's paradise, with almost all taxonomic phyla represented in it. Beginning from the invertebrate taxa like echinoderms that include sea cucumbers and sea urchins, to the almost exclusively marine mollusk varieties, the sea abounds in great variety. In most beaches here, you are sure to find elongated, black or brown, leathery, sausage-like objects. They are the sea cucumbers. All have a mouth at one end and an anus at the other, but some are only 2 centimeters long, while others may be over a meter. Many have 10 to 30 tentacles that can be withdrawn into the mouth. They are actually modified tube feet which can collect food materials also as it moves along. The one which looks like a round ball with black pins stuck all over it is the animal called sea urchin. They move about in the seafloor using these long protective spines which are attached to the central shell of the animal called test. The most commonly seen and touched variety of mollusk are the octopus and the quarry, the former being collected for food and the latter for sale. Octopus is one among the many sea creatures that the islanders catch for food. They do this by flushing it out of the crevices inside where it usually hides. It is enthralling to see, even in a dead octopus, waves of dark and light tints passing over the body. These are the body pigments which make it a supreme camouflage artist while it is alive. Among the traditional dishes of the islanders, special rice made with octopus called appal chora is considered a great delicacy. The reef in Lakshadweep abounds in 13 species of corals, with the rare tiger cory now on the verge of disappearing. The women of the islands collect corals as it forms a source of income. They give it to the manju owners, who sell it at Mangalore or Calicut in return for money or goods.
കാണാൻ വരുന്ന ഞങ്ങളെ സന്തോഷത്തിന് വേണ്ടി മറ്റേ രാജ്യത്തിനായിട്ട് വരുന്ന ആൾക്കാരൊക്കെ കേരളത്തിനൊക്കെ വരുന്ന ആൾക്കാർ ഞങ്ങൾ സന്തോഷത്തിന് വേണ്ടി ഞങ്ങൾ കൊടുക്കുന്നു. ഞങ്ങൾ സമ്മാനമായിട്ട് കൊടുക്കുന്നതാണിത്. ഇത് കബഡി, ഈ വലിയ കബഡി, ചെറിയ പുള്ളിക്കടി, ഇതൊക്കെ ഞങ്ങൾ കൊടുക്കുന്നു.
The fleshy mantle with which the cory shell is often covered is the main architect of the glossy shell. It is the mantle that lays down the layer of pearl white shell that then develops exquisite markings characteristic of each species. It also protects the shell from algae and other encrusting animals. It will be difficult to find a beach in Lakshadweep without the presence of a crab. There are more than 50 species of this energetic creature. But one thing common is that they all walk sideways. The forelegs on one side push the body and those on the other side pull in synchronization. This results in the sideways walk. Most crabs make deep burrows in the seashore by excavating sand using their legs. Their legs are so strong that each claw can support a weight 30 times its body weight. Hermit crabs are those that have a different type of home. They crawl into empty snail shells and make it their safe home. But wherever they go, they take their homes on their backs. Some of them feed on dead animal matter, but to some others, rotting vegetable matter is more delicious. The national bird of Lakshadweep, the Pitti Pakshi or Sooty Tern's largest nesting site is in the Pitti Island, a small sandbar which is in the process of becoming a bird sanctuary. More than 150 species of birds are found here, either as residents in transit or as migrants. Four species of marine turtles have been recorded from the Lekshadweep Islands: the olive ridley, hawksbill, leatherback, and the green turtle. Of these, the green turtles can be seen swimming very close to the beaches of Agathi Island. The national tree of Lakshadweep is the breadfruit, which grows very well in the sandy soil. The coastal vegetation in Lakshadweep is not very diverse, with Scaviola, Pemphis, and Tournefortia, with local names like Cherutalam, Kanni, and Tamara being predominant. The only island with mangroves is Minicoy, which alone has deposits of soil capable of supporting this unique system. The common plants on the seashore are Spinifex and Ipomea that help to check the erosion of sand. There are many stories about the first human inhabitants of the islands. Where and how did they come here? The most common story is that of Cheraman Perumal, who got lost and reached the island on the way to Mecca. The vineyard Saint Ubaidullah reached the island Amini and Andrut and converted the inhabitants into Islam. The people of Lakshadweep live a life dependent on the marine wealth. There are many types of fishing in the lagoon and reef. Harpooning and spearing are typical lagoon and reef fishing methods for special kinds of fishes. Apart from this, a variety of nets and gears are being used in the islands.
ഈ പഴയ കാലത്തൊക്കെ പിടിക്കുന്ന മത്സ്യമാണിത്. അപ്പോൾ അതുകൊണ്ട് ഇപ്പോൾ അതുകൊണ്ട് ഇതിനൊന്നും അത്ര ഡിമാൻഡില്ല. അപ്പോൾ ഇപ്പോൾ അത് ഇങ്ങനെ
The island community's traditional wisdom and knowledge about marine biodiversity is quite amazing. The people here have evolved a lifestyle that is dependent on observing the habits and habitats of the creatures around.
போட்டிய காலம் தான் அப்போ தரத்தில் பேர் இங்கே அடுத்தது சன்னன்னு வரையும்.
Many expert fishermen even have a mental map of the correct locations for fishing in the lagoon and reef.
ഇതിൻ്റെ പേര് ബില്ല. ആയം കൂടിയത് ആ ഇവിടെ ഈ സ്ഥലത്തിൻ്റെ പേര് മേലാച്ചേരി.
ദുഹൽ നക്ഷത്രത്തിൽ നാം ഒരു യാത്ര പുറപ്പെട്ടു. ഈ കൊള്ളാത്ത ഈ ഇസായത്തിന് ദുഹൽ നക്ഷത്രം വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അവൻ യാത്ര പുറപ്പെട്ട യാത്രയിൽ അവനിക്കുണ്ടാവാവുന്ന എല്ലാ ഭവിഷ്യത്തുകളും ഉണ്ടാകും.
Their traditional knowledge about seafaring and astronomy is also quite unique. A treatise on this by MP Kunyi Malmi of Kavarati is considered a masterpiece in the field. The economy of the island centers around tuna fishing. Migratory shoals of 5 species of this deep-sea fish visit the island. The islanders, especially from Minicoy, have evolved a special method of fishing called pole and line fishing for tuna. Several species of live bait fishes found in the lagoon are caught to attract tuna to the pole. The boat is equipped with bait boxes and water sprinklers that make the joint effort more efficient. The post-harvest activities of fishing includes the making of dried tuna, the mas. This is a community activity. The land-based livelihood in Lakshadweep is mostly based on coconut. The huge manjus or cargo vessels from Baipur, Mangalore and Kochi reach the shores of the islands with all essential items and take back copra and mas. The making of vinegar or surka along with the sticky chakara or jaggery add to the local economy.
മാണിക്കത്തലെ ശാമൈച്ചേ മാണിയാറ ഇട്ടാർ ചെങ്കദനം വെച്ചാർ സിംഗദാനം പട്ടും വീതനം സുഹേത്തക്കാൽ നാട്ടി സുവർക്കമാടോ വർദ്ധീതി മുഖം കണ്ടാലേ നരിമാറൊക്കെ സന്തോഷിച്ച്.
The interactions within the community are deep-rooted, with women being the center. The customs, traditions and dress code of the people had a pattern that was influenced by Kerala. Minicoy has always maintained its own style regarding village system, dress and food.
സുവർക്കമാടോ വർദ്ധീതി മുഖം കണ്ടാലേ നരിമാറൊക്കെ സന്തോഷിച്ച്. ഓമേനാവേദം വേറെ കല്യാണങ്കാമം ആരംഭത്തോടെ ജീവിലിറങ്ങിയ.
The lifestyle of the islanders is changing. From walking to cycling to now motorbikes and the occasional car, the tiny islands are teeming with activity. The power from diesel plants lights up the islands. The speed vessels and small ships have made travel a lot more easier. Life and attitudes change rapidly. The most beautiful sight on the islands a decade ago was during the evenings when children would hold the hands of their mothers and go to the lagoon at low tide looking at the life there, sometimes collecting quarries and shells. This was a true life skills education program with lessons in swimming, biodiversity, and fishing happening unconsciously. But now, the most disturbing sight is seeing children killing life all around without true need. The lagoon and the ocean are now seen as a waste dump yard. The littering of all available spaces, including the lagoon with plastics and waste, is also on the rise. There is anxiety that this will affect the health of the reef and lagoon and adversely impact the availability of fishes. Despite a ban on plastics, this is contaminating the whole island. Being small, it is not too late to adopt and adapt new and more protective lifestyles in the island. The threats of sea level rise and climate change may be a reality in small islands like Lakshadweep. We may not be able to stop the sea with concrete tetrapods and blocks, but we can block the waves with green cover and greener mindsets and attitudes. Now is the right time for Lakshadweep to display this vital message to the world.